Hello everybody, my name is Benji. Welcome back to Satisfactory. Today we're doing weapons production and probably a little bit of batteries as well if we end up going late. So, weapons production is very spicy because it is extremely far away from home. It's almost complete opposite side of the map. There we go. It's almost complete opposite side of the map. Just about. The only place that's farther from home compared to this place is over there, the Dune Desert, which we are going to be building our nuclear pasta over there. So weapons require a couple of things, one of which being oil. That's covered. Copper and iron, that's covered. And then sulfur and coal are both all the way up on that mountain. The factory is going to be built right here. We're going to be making 15 rifle ammo per minute, and I think it's like 20 or so? Yeah, it's 18 Nobelisk explosives per minute. And we need those explosives and those rifle cartridges to take over the swamp biome. The swamp biome is one of the most hostile places in the entirety of the map. The only place that's arguably more hostile are the Red Forest, which we're also going to be messing around with eventually when we get into the nuclear production. So nuclear production is going to be a lot of fun. We've got a couple hurdles to get through first, one of which being weapons, two of which being batteries, which are going to be made right here, and three of which being supercomputers. After that, I can set up temporary factories for fused modular frames, which we already did, and turbo motors, and cooling systems over here. Oh, and electromagnetic control rods. I keep forgetting that there's a lot of steps between now and nuclear. But we're going to go on ahead and get started with a nice large platform out in this area. I've got a whole plan laid out. I've got the Google document right next to me. And I will see you guys when we've got a little bit of progress made. So we went on ahead, we placed the little actual train bit here and got a little area cordoned off for the factory itself. We added a roundabout so that the train can go up, around, and back home, and so that our personal train can go forward whenever it needs to and head the entire way back, well, where it needs to go, which is way over here. Turbo motors will be made here, a couple other factories will be pockmarked along this area, so we need the train line to be out here for us personally, even though the items will be brought back to the base via drone. The copper and iron is going to be the easy part, the oil is going to be the easy part, which I'm actually going to do first. The two bits of this that are going to be rather difficult are the water, because I'm pretty sure that's not deep enough to get a water extractor, and the next closest water is this puddle, or the ocean. And then the sulfur and everything is up with those stinky rocks. So we're going to be figuring out how exactly we're going to run a belt from the stinky rocks over to here. We'll get that all figured out. Right now I want to get the oil figured out because the refineries are all going to be on the first floor, and then I've got a plan for all the rest of the subsequent floors. You will see when we've got something to show. Okay, so we have all of the machines for the first floor completely finished. We've got the rubber system here on the right, the beacons, they're dead center, the pipes with that little 2 constructor setup, and then the 9 constructors making pipes for the Nobelisks that are ready to go up to the next floor. The next floor is going to have load balancing for the coal and for the sulfur. And all of the compacted coal is going to be made on this side over here. Or maybe I should do it on this side. But in any case, I need to, A, make sure that this is tall enough to the point where it doesn't get in the way of the manufacturer, which that should be good. Assuming I do 8x1 foundations. Let me just make sure that's not touching. Alright, it's not. And then that's going to go out a ways. I think there's probably good. And I'm pretty sure it was 9. And then we're just gonna go double check. Yeah, we're good. So we're gonna have this floor just like this with a little bit of a railing so that you can still see the refineries and stuff, because these refineries are pathetic. Like, it's an underclocked one for plastic, a 15% underclocked blender, and a 50% for the rubber. It's stupid. It's stupid that this is the system that we need for rubber, because we don't need that much rubber. Like, we really do not need that much rubber. It's kind of crazy. But I think the way that I'm going to have the coal and sulfur come in is right here, and only 30 of the coal actually goes to compacted coal, and then the sulfur goes to the compacted coal as well, and then the rest of the sulfur goes to the black powder, which then goes into the end product. So all of that should be able to be done on this half of the platform, and then on that half of the platform we should be able to do the actual nobelisks and rifle cartridges, and then we can just run them down and right along the line into the train and go get started on batteries. Fun stuff. So we got the entire factory done, and I'm a design genius, so I took this from Kibitz. I'm not gonna lie, I straight up ripped this design from a Kibitz build. The whole manufacturer facing inward with the belt thing. But I added my own little flair to it with the fact that I've got the 2 outputs, the one for the actual rifle cartridges, which are made in this manufacturer, and the ones for the nobelisks over here on this side, so it's still symmetrical. Eventually I'm going to end up putting lights here and here. Let me just grab the actual lights. Where are the lights? There they are. The wall-mounted lights. So I'll end up putting lights like there and there on both sides, facing inwards, and then I'll color them red because, you know, nobelisks and black powder and stuff is red. But then we also have this manufacturer down here for the beacons, and that has its own little glass, and it'll probably have a light above it that's also red. And we've got all of this over here, and I might put some lights up for that as well, even though the sky bridge doesn't look very good. That doesn't mean the factory doesn't have to look good, and I kind of like the look of the sky bridge. It's almost nostalgic, because I used to do that kind of stuff all the time. And then over here, the refineries are going to be open top. So this entire portion of the factory over here is going to be open, with the exception of some of the constructors and stuff. I'll try to figure out a way to kind of wall it off a little bit. But this whole area out here is going to be open, and I'll find a way to make it look good so that it's not just like floating or anything. The only thing that we have to do from this point is go over there, grab the iron and the copper, which we only need 30 copper, literally a single smelter, and then go over there and grab some oil. And then this factory will be done. I need to wire everything together and put a train down correctly that's not the home line train, and yeah, then everything will be good. This turned out so much better than I ever thought that it could have. I'm very pleased with this. So we've got everything completely and entirely belted. The oil is ready to come over, the water is ready to come over, and it's actually going underneath of us at the moment. Let me get the hover pack on. I said, let me get the hover pack on. Thank you. It's coming under us, and then up and above and into the blender. Everything is ready to go. I just got to connect this power line to start that moving and grooving. And yep, just like I thought, sulfur and coal should already be moving and grooving. Wonderful. It is absolutely astounding news. So all of this has already been moving and grooving by accident because I turned it on. Turned it on a little prematurely, but that's okay. Oh, hey, I need to connect a pipe belt. So now that belt's connected. Everything is ready to go, including our lovely manufacturer out front here. And things should .tm be moving and or grooving. Looks like the iron is good. Looks like the copper is good. I said those backwards. That's supposed to be good. Oh no! Also, that's wrong. I am a moron. How have I forgotten to connect so many belts? Actually, let me just throw those into the system and keep them moving, because that's going to be helpful. Looks like we've got wire, cable. Looks like this is moving, making beacons. That's good. And the beacons are going up, I would assume. Well, I didn't necessarily see a platform, but maybe I just wasn't fast enough. There go the pipes, so that's good. Beacons. They are producing, they're just not showing up for some reason. That's interesting. How about this? This does not have fuel yet. Also, I'm just gonna bump up the clock speed on that a little bit, just in case. It'll be fine. There goes some fuel. So we should be getting some rubber here soon. Yep, rubber on the way. We know we have black powder up here and ready to go. Maybe we can see the beacons from up here? I don't know. I'm doing this just in case a beacon ends up being on the belt and we don't know it. Yeah, there's a beacon on the belt, but it's not showing up. Interesting. Well, lag. And we should, in that case, start seeing this come to life soon. As soon as it gets rubber. And there we go. So now the centerpiece of the factory comes to life. Should also start getting nobelisks here soon as well. Yep, there's one. Little itty-bitty thing. Pretty sure the rifle cartridges are going to be pretty small as well. We're going to get chat to name the train again, as per usual. There go the cartridges. Wonderful. Our weapons factory is online, and with these weapons being mass-produced, we will be able to take over the world. But for now, we're gonna run over yada yada this direction to where the silver conductor is, and extend the personal train line ever so slightly in this direction. Take a first look at the swamp, and begin working on batteries. I'm very excited to start working on batteries. It's going to be a lot of fun to actually automate batteries instead of just buying them. Fun fact, I've never automated batteries. Old recipe or new recipe. Never automated batteries before. Also, isn't this just the most beautiful spaghetti you've ever seen? There's so much happening. It's so busy. Looks great. I love it. Thanks, guys. I'll see you at the batteries. So we grabbed ourselves some stuff for our personal endeavors, meaning we have 100 rounds and 50 nobelisks. Nobelisk detonator is ready to go. Rifle is ready to go as well. And we are sending the volatile roller, which my name, actually, by the way, the armory Supreme came up with, and what we are going to be calling the legury. It's a play on words leggery. Because, you know, arm and a leg. Haha, funny, funny. I think it's actually pretty funny. Heckley came up with that. And that's what we're going to be naming the train station back home. That is currently called Boom Home. And our little roundabout works very well for Mr. Volatile Roller. And he is going to go straight through our project train. Which we are actually going to hop on board ourselves here. Go back to the base and get some steel beams, because I am out of those. And then we are going to head our lovely, lovely way. Whoopsies, there we go. We are going to head our lovely way over to make some batteries. It's going to be a long trip home from back here. Okie dokie. We are back at the hub because I forgot that I was going to do unlocks and stuff. Leading edge production. What we can do with the leading edge production. Despite the autosave that's about to happen. Future Benji, you know what to do. So now that that autosave is out of our way, we are back at the hub. And we are going to use our lovely, let me grab them, coupons! We've got a ton of coupons that we can use. And we are going to buy some parts. Specifically, supercomputers. And we are going to buy 100. That's more than 100. That's more than 100. That's okay. Bada boop. Leading edge production. What do you got for us, Ada?
Turbo motors can now be constructed in order to build the latest fix-it improved factory buildings, such as the Miner Mark III. A new project part enables progress to the next phase.
Ooh, look how beefy that is. For reference, Mark II, Mark I, Mark III. Beefcake. Absolute beefcake. Supercomputers, fused modular frames, and turbo motors for those. And then in 5 minutes, we can do this. Actually, no, I don't think we can, because cooling systems. I do not have cooling systems automated yet, and I really kind of don't feel like purchasing them. I could, though. Or I could not, apparently. Maybe you can't buy cooling systems. That would be not nice. I guess we'll just start researching some hard drives then. We've got some nuclear stuff, and we've got some spicy turbo motor stuff now. Particle enrichment, I guess, is just gonna have to wait. We're over here in the lovely purple-hued swamp, which I didn't realize had a purple hue until I got here. We've got 2 of our lovely bauxite nodes here that we're going to be using. There's another one way off in the distance over there somewhere. The sulfur is peeking just out from behind that corner right there. You can kind of see it. And we are going to be making our factory right here. We need 800 water per minute coming in, which is 7 water extractors. So I'm probably going to be getting that from somewhere. I don't really know yet. I'll figure that out here in a second. And we actually need Mark III miners in order to get this system working at peak efficiency. However, I currently do not have enough stuff for Mark III miners. I actually do have supercomputers with me, so if I ended up building a coupon shop, the awesome shop, I actually think I might do that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that. I forgot to put my coupons away, so I have my coupons with me, which means that we can take these and actually do the Mark III miner bit. That's kind of exciting. But we're gonna go on ahead and put together our lovely little foundation platform here, which needs to be decently high. Probably about there is fine. And then Doesn't need to be super wide, probably 12, except we want it to be an odd number. Ah, I don't have enough concrete in my inventory. Well, we'll fix that problem and build the foundation. Hello everyone, welcome back. We have got the first floor of the battery refinement center all done and ready to go. We've got one module here on the far right doing the aluminum casings. It's crazy how 4 refineries and 12 smelters all go to just 4 constructors. And that's it. That's really astonishing to me. We've got 2 refineries back there for alumina solution right there in the center. And then we've got the big meme, the 12 over here for the sulfuric acid. All 3 of these items go over here to this little corner and are going to go up to the second floor where we're going to start messing around with blenders for the first time ever. But we're probably going to do that next time because I just got a text from Reiner. And I think we're going to go play some Dead by Daylight. Oh, well, he said okay, so I don't think that means he's ready, because I just told him to let me know when he was ready, and he said okay to that. So I think we're still good for a little itty-bitty bit. Also, welcome to the swamp again. This is where we're going to be doing the nuclear setup. I'm sure I've already said that. Over that direction, it won't let me ping it, but it's up here. We're going to be doing some spice, and then we're going to be doing some spice there, and some spice here. And then the reactors, and some more spice, and then the reactors, and then way off on that island over there is where we're going to store all of the waste for eternity. There's also a cave behind the waterfall that we're going to be getting the uranium from. I'm sure I already said that. The other uranium we're going to be getting via drone over here, which is why we're building this factory. So I'm going to go on ahead, get these set up and ready to go up to the next floor, including pumps and other stuff. And then we are going to start messing around with blenders for the first time ever. Exciting stuff. So we have the second platform, and we have the pipes and the belt up here ready to go. There's just one problem. And that one problem is the fact that I do not have enough materials for 12 blenders. I have enough materials for 6. And then I'll need more for the rest of the other 6. Specifically in the motor department. But these are very interesting, and I've talked about this a bit in the past, because of the fact that they have 2 liquid inputs, 2 belt inputs, which we're currently only using 1 belt input, and a liquid and solid output as well. And the reason why that's interesting is because of the fact that with the refineries, we only have to deal with 1 solid and 1 liquid. And up until this point of blenders being added into the game, we have never had a building that uses 2 pipes at the same time. So it's a bit of an enigma for me personally to set up said pipes. One of them I feel like I can just put straight over the top, and here I'll do a little proof of concept / testing live on video and live on stream, but it's all live testing on stream because stream is live. It's what stream is. So I feel like with one of these, what I can do is take the pipeline junction, also MAM recipe, and do that. And then with the other one, I can do the same. Maybe. Actually, yeah, I think this is exactly how we do it. I might go look up some other ways that YouTubers and stuff are doing it, like Kibitz or Total. But that works. It makes logistics a absolute nightmare, because on top of this, we're also going to need to run a belt input, which will be fine. And then we also need the pipe and belt output at the same time. So that part's easy, that's just like a refinery. I think we'll have to do that a different way for some odd reason. I don't really know why that's an issue. And then we'll obviously just run the batteries straight down along the side, and somehow we'll end up fitting a distribution center in up here as well. And then the second line of blenders is probably going to go about there. I feel like that's probably good. But for right now, that is going to be it for the video. I'm probably just going to do some inventory management stuff until I receive a text about Dead by Daylight. Hey guys, really quickly before the video ends, I've been doing a lot of work off stream just because of the fact that I finished a bunch of editing and stuff and I didn't want to do any more editing, and I also just kind of had some free time on my hands late at night after the Terraria stream, and I've just been doing a little bit of work, as you can see. Obviously, this is the Amazon warehouse, the lovely affectionate name that we have given to our battery factory, and it's finished. It is completely and entirely finished, except that pipe is not full. Oh, it's probably because the batteries are backed up. So it's done. I finished it. I got the water and the coal. The coal, you can see the belt, and then the water's just coming from up in... See, up in this little river area here. The coal's coming from right there. So that's all finished on this nice diagonal platform here. Going through the wall, we've got the feet supports are in, and I used these curved designs, which actually look really neat, not gonna lie. We used some pillar designs over there for the train station roundabout and for the train station itself. We've got the Mark III miners here for the two bauxite nodes, normal and impure. And they're coming up and onto this line that goes underneath, which I think was a neat little design thing. We've got the sulfur coming from up there, kind of similar to the designs we've done for stuff like that in the past. Sulfuric acid, alumina solution, and alumina casings going up the top, obviously. I have a little platform here prepared for nuclear, and it has a bunch of resources in it, like 24,000 concrete, and just literally a entire ton of items. Like, I got pretty much everything that we should be needing, with the exception of fused modular frames, turbo motors, and all that super advanced stuff that we haven't actually organized and automated yet. And then the pure bauxite node that we're grabbing from the center of the swamp has been gotten as well, and it shouldn't .tm get in the way of our nuclear setup, because our nuclear setup is mostly going to be on very large stilts. Anyway, we've got this. We're going to get to that later. Spoilers. Spoilers. We can't have spoilers here. That's a no-no, that's illegal. But it does look pretty neat, huh? That little, like, pillar design. I think it does. We've got the walkway here. Obviously, that's not new. That's nothing new at all. We've seen the first floor. I didn't really change anything except for adding that sulfur line over the top over there. Everything is pretty backed up, and I might actually need to dump some stuff. We added a ladder and the blenders. I finished it. I finished the blenders. I couldn't stand it anymore. I felt like doing it, so I did it. And I just added in everything. Everything is completely added, including the water and the water recycling and everything of that nature. And we've got 2 extra battery storages. So everything should be good. If we ever need to come and do something by hand, we can. And the creme de la creme, the 2 drone ports with lights. It's great, actually. I love it. I love the design. This one takes things back home, and this thing is going to take it over to the Gold Coast whenever we start automating that stuff. And it's on this raised platform right above the thing. They've got drone, or sorry, not drone, they are drones. They've got battery inputs for both the fuel, oops, I hit the wrong button, the fuel, and for the actual battery input. And the system down here is actually a little bit complex, so bear with me here in my little explanation. A lot of spaghetti down here with a glass floor as well, so we can see it from underneath. The batteries output from the factory come through here and go into a series of smart splitters. The first one splits it off priority this way to go out to our nuclear facility, because that's going to be using a drone, or 2, or 3, I don't know yet. This one takes it to the fuel for the one that takes the batteries home. And then this one priority splits to the fuel for the one taking it to the Gold Coast. And then up here, this one priority splits forward to take the batteries back home and run the 8 drone ports back home. And then this one priority splits out into the one that goes to the Gold Coast, because that's not as huge of a priority as everything else that I already listed. The battery's not, or the battery, I keep saying the wrong word. The drone's not currently running because the batteries back home are actually full, so it's just sitting there, and you'll notice that I have 8 drone ports set up. So we're actually going to go grab a look at that right now, and I'm going to leave you with the swamp as the last overview. The first thing I want to point out now that we're actually home is the fact that I've added 3 new hypertubes here to our hypertube hub. This one here on the right goes out and over to those 2 train stations, the Liguri and the Silver Rail or something like that. I forget what it's called, the Silver Road. This one takes us to the drones, and then this one takes us over to the Gold Coast trains, which are these 4 train stations over here. The one that we're interested in right now is the actual one that takes us to the drones. It's not finished yet. It's a complete work in progress still. I gotta add some lights, make it look nice. I gotta add some feet and pillars and stuff. I gotta add feet to this train station and the other train station as well. But for right now, it serves its purpose, and it does exactly what we need it to. So this little guy is the little guy that's actually taking our drones to and from the drone port way over that way, which I have a bunch of beacons. I've been working on the supercomputer stuff as well, which I actually need to connect this to power, because that's going to be for supercomputers. There are 8 drone ports here, 1 for each of the 8 items that we're going to be bringing back, and they have battery inputs coming from this drone port, and I'll show you that system here in a second. But then they all also have an output for their item that's eventually going to make it over to that storage hub. One of them is actually already connected, and that's the supercomputer line right there. And then everything else is going to go into that side of the storage hub. But I just want to show you the temporary design that we have here. Or, well, it's not temporary, it's permanent, with these walkways and stuff. And these walkways are really neat, because they let me just walk straight up to the drone port and walk up the side like a normal person would, rather than just hovering menacingly over everything like I do. And then we've got the railing. I kind of want to put the lights the same way that I had the other lights, which would be just having them in the corners, and then having a couple more, like, spread out along the line. Autosave, this is really a bad time. I swear to God, it freezes me for like 15 seconds now. Anyway, we've got a little subterranean entrance down here that takes us to the battery floor. So the batteries are priority split from this right here, this smart splitter. It has center output and right output for batteries. Left is overflow, and that takes it down to the storage hub. And obviously we want the drones to get their batteries as fuel before we want them to actually go back to the base. So we have it splitting priority-wise to go here first, and all of these are connected. It's almost perfect splitting, not quite perfect splitting, but you know, it's close enough for our purposes. And then we've got another subterranean entrance here to take us down to the sorting floor, with all of the conveyor lift outputs for the different items that we'll be bringing back. I might add some glass so that you can see at least a little bit of this later. And I don't really have any ideas for the feet design. But, you know, it's all a work in progress. This is all staying how it is currently, but the rest of it's a work in progress. I gotta figure out something to do over there and over here as well. And we also moved the hub. I need to move all of the rest of that stuff, but we moved the hub. The hub is over there now. Mostly because of the fact that if I'm going to be running belts over top, I couldn't have the hub there because of the little thing on the back that actually takes off and has a good time. And then the other thing that I actually did is right over here. You can already see it. I set up a beacon factory because I was tired of handcrafting beacons all the time. So our train has 300. I've got like less than I thought in my inventory. Thought I had way more than that actually. But it's a really simple system. I'm using Kibitz little outward facing manufacturers again, just because it's a lot of fun to do. I got the cyan lights because I think that looks absolutely crazy good. Little supports and stuff. And the entire system is actually based around iron. So there's not a single lick of copper in here, despite the fact that I've got wire and cable. And that's because we're using the iron wire alternate recipe. The entire factory, I believe, makes 15 battery, or 15 of these per minute. It's 15. 3.75 times 4. And I wanted to underclock it like this just so that I could get 4 of these guys in here, because only having 2 would have been so tiny in terms of the entire system. Like, honestly, if I could have done 5, I would have been able to extend it more, but I honestly didn't really feel like doing that and dealing with the rough numbers. So yeah, that's all the stuff that I've done off camera in terms of progress, other than a little bit on the supercomputers, which by the time this goes out, you guys will probably have already seen the finished supercomputers live, because this update's going to come out during my hiatus. So I'm going to go on ahead and let Benji from the past, before the batteries were finished, let you guys end the video. So thanks for watching again. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Satisfactory, and I will see you guys in the next stream.